Welcome back, trainers. So the Ralts Community Day is upon us now, and it's actually starting in certain parts of the world. And if it hasn't started in your area quite yet, well, I'm going to give you a few tips. Just a separate video here discussing what I'm exactly going to do. This is going to be short and sweet, and then just breaking down Synchronoise as to how good it's actually going to be and how many of these do you want to make individually, because I know a lot of us do not have a lot of candies. Even after the Ralts Community Day, we still just might be a little short compared to the other ones because Ralts is that rare. So let's go ahead and get into this and see what we have going on here. All right, so here we are looking at my Ralts and Curlias ready to go for the Community Day. Now, I do have this mail here, and would I be evolving it during the Community Day hours? And do you want to evolve a whole bunch to get Synchronoise? Is it that good? I'm going to tell you it's not that great, okay? You may want to hold off with your Gardevoirs. Now, as far as Glades, if you do have a great IV one that you plan on maxing out, I say definitely evolve a couple of those as well as a shiny just to have on your team, because if you're going to be using Glade as a pure psychic attacker, it's going to be a lot better than Psychic is, the Synchronoise, so you may want to actually do that. Now, if you do find one that has great PvP IVs, say something like, close to 0 in attack, and then close to 15 in defense and stamina, then you may want to think about evolving that outside of the Community Day hours, because that's going to be a lot better for PvP. If you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, isn't Synchronoise going to be kind of good on Glade in PvP? It could possibly be okay. It really depends on the cups going forward, but as of now, Leaf Blade, Close Combat are going to give you better coverage for your Pokemon in specific types. All right, so that's just a little heads up. As far as completely maxing out and powering up your ones that are close to 100 for Glade, that's definitely a go for a few. You don't want to max out a whole bunch of Glades because they're not going to be the best psychic attacker. There's going to be things outperforming it like Alakazam, Espeon, Azelf, Mewtwo, legendaries and non-legendaries alike. So tread lightly on wasting a bunch of candies and evolving as many as you can in the heat of the moment. Now we're looking at my 100% IV female Ralts. Do I actually want to evolve this during the Community Day times because it's 100 to receive Synchronoise? Well, yeah, kind of. But I'm going to tell you Dazzling Gleam on Gardevoir with Confusion is going to be a better psychic attacker than Synchronoise is. It's going to be nice to have that signature move, and you may want to evolve it on a few others. The only problem is you're going to either have to purchase a secondary move once you did evolve that all the way up during the Community Day hours, and then use a TM. You're going to just simply waste TMs. Or you can wait after the hour and after the 1 hour period in which you're able to evolve them after the Community Day to get that move, and then you can just go for Dazzling Gleam. Simple as that. So just trying to help you guys out before you venture off and start evolving a whole bunch of your Ralts that you've been waiting. You're like, okay, this is it. The Community Day for Ralts is finally here. Let's go to town and evolve a bunch. You may want to hold off on doing that, all right? So let's go ahead and review one more time, and then we're going to look at the DPS really quick here. We did go over that in my last video, but I just want to break it down for you really fast. If you do have a male and you do plan on evolving it all the way up to Glade, and it is close to 100, then you may want to get Synchronoise and then purchase a secondary move. It depends on what you're doing. If you're going up against gyms and raids, you don't need to worry about Leaf Blade. Close combat, it's going to be good, but there's definitely fighting type Pokemon. They're going to be outperforming it. But for the people who are looking for individual psychic type attackers for unique teams, possibly for challenges, then you may want to go ahead and evolve your male Glades all the way up so you can get that Synchronoise move. Therefore, you have Confusion and then that new psychic type attack from the Community Day. But as far as Glade goes, not so much. Now, do you want to, say if you find a good PvP one with low attack, high defense, and stamina in the IVs, do you want to evolve those to get Synchronoise? I say do one of each set. Do one for Gardevoir and one for Glade. If you can have more candies to spare and you find great IVs for that specific PvP Great League, then go ahead and do what you need. Depends on how much candies you have. But personally for me, I'm going to make just one of each. I may do 2 Gardevoirs and Glades, but it really depends on how much candies I do come across and depends on the IVs. If they're ideal for PvP, then I'm definitely going to make 2. But if I don't find too many, then I'm just going to make one of each. As far as completely evolving a whole lot of them to receive Synchronoise, I'm probably just going to do 2 or 1. The 100s that I have here Everything else that I've been saving up at this point is kind of useless because Synchronoise is not going to prove to be super valuable in PvE, and their IVs are too good for PvP for the Great League. Therefore, it's a waste. I could almost just transfer like this 71 here. I mean, I need to transfer it. I mean, what's the point? I'm serious. So take it lightly on the evolutions, but the choice is yours. If you like to just do this and go out there and have a blast, and evolving them, I mean, of course, go out there and have a blast catching shinies, but evolving them, you may want to tread lightly on that situation because this move, Synchronoise, is not looking particularly so great. All right, now we are over here on Game Press. We did take a look at this earlier, but I just want to make an individual video here so you guys can have a clear understanding. So this is going to be PvE going up against gyms and raids. If you're looking for unique psychic type attackers, you like using different Pokemon, will you want to evolve to receive Synchronoise? That's going to be an absolute yes. You're going to want Gallade and Gardevoir with both of these moves if you're looking for those psychic type attackers. So we have duplicates like Azelf and Alakazam because there's different movesets there. So Gallade and both Gardevoir are going to be landing at that number 7 spot for the best psychic type attacker. That's 7. So it's up to you guys. I know a lot of people do not really have Deoxys maxed out that it's going to be your best psychic type attacker, but take a look at the TDO. The thing is not going to be able to last in battle whatsoever because it's so glassy. Yes, it's putting out a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, you might as well invest in a Zelf, an Alakazam, an Espeon. They're going to have much better TDO and last longer in that fight, therefore putting off more damage at the end of the day. Then of course you have Mewtwo with Confusion and Psychic. So Zelf, Alakazam, Espeon. Alakazam and Espeon should be readily available to a lot of people, and it's still going to be outperforming Gallade as well as Gardevoir. But let's go over that 2 charge bar move thing. That's going to help you get it off a lot quicker. And say you're close to getting off a Future Sight on your Zelf, but you fainted out. Well, you wasted all that energy trying to finally get it almost there, and then you faint. Therefore, with the Synchronoise, a 2 charge bar move, you're going to be able to get it off continuously, therefore giving it a little bit more value in those PvE fights. So the choice is yours. Would you want to, and do you want to? I know we just went over this. I'd say make one of each. If you want to make more, that's all on you guys. But personally for me, as far as maxing these out with Synchronoise, Gallade, and Gardevoir, I'm going to do just one. And I'm not even going to max them out right away, to be honest with you. I'm a little stingy with my Stardust, and I know people like, you're stingy. You say you don't have too much. You have 5 million Stardust. Well, the way it's working is I'm pretending that 5 million is not there. So currently I have 112,000 Stardust. That's just my reserve. And why am I doing that? Well, when PvP first came out, I had, say, 10 million Stardust, and I blew it all one day. Not even like a couple of hours, and it was poof, down to 5 million. If I haven't been spending things because of PvP, I would be personally sitting right now around 30 million Stardust. I invest every single day in different Pokemon, powering them up. I don't make those videos anymore because I kind of want to keep things a little bit, an element of surprise, right? So there you have it, Gallade and Gardevoir in PvP. You're like, well, where's Gardevoir? Well, it's on the next page. It's actually going to be doing the same amount of DPS as the Gardevoir, or should I say Gallade is. It's just on the next page here. It's just being bumped down by the double duplicates like Azelf with Extrasensory and then Confusion and the Alakazam. So there you have it. They're going to be okay in PvP. Do you want to power them up? Not so much, guys, but they're not going to be completely useless. They will find some sort of relevancy with that double charge move. Now, this is going to be PvP. Now, if you do like to battle other trainers and you're looking for a good psychic type attacker, well, obviously you can't get Mewtwo in the Great League. It's going to be fantastic in the Ultra League, sure, or even Master League. I wouldn't say too much Ultra League, more Master, but it's going to get destroyed by specific ghosts. And then you have Gallade and Gardevoir. Let's just erase Mewtwo. So they're pretty much at the number 1 spot for the Great League with pure psychic type moves. Does that make them great? Does that make them something you really want to use? Possibly. But the way these cups that the Silph Arena is kind of working with, they usually make it so you are going to be weak to a specific other type. Therefore, having a pure psychic type attacker could prove useless or could prove valuable. Depends on what the meta is for that specific cup. So do you want a bunch of them? Not quite. I would make 2 of each if you do have the candies to spare. If you do not have that many, just make 1 of each. But honestly, you already have that confusion damage, guys. You might as well go for the Leaf Blade and Close Combat on your Glades in the Great League. And for the Gardevoir, I mean, I guess you can try Synchronoise for a bit of coverage and then Dazzling Gleam on the side, but Shadow Ball is pretty nice. And if you're going to be completely maxing these out and dropping them in gyms, Shadow Ball coverage is going to be a lot better if they go up against Metagross. Somebody's using Metagross. If you have both Dazzling Gleam and Synchronoise on your Gardevoir maxed out, dropping it in a gym, it's not going to defend that well. People are obviously not going to use a Machamp. They're going to use possibly a Metagross or a Dialga, in which case it's just going to not do too much damage to them, and it's not going to really defend the gym too much. If you're not worried about that, then that's no big deal. Not too many people are thinking about, is this moveset going to be good for defending a gym? I know there are people out there, but yeah. So there you have the rundown, guys, on the damage. This is going to be for PvP here, and we just took a look at PvE, so they're not looking particularly too great. All right, trainers, and before I let you go here, just a quick brush up. So obviously Ralts is going to be spawning 1/4 egg distance. Now let me tell you this, you have to incubate them during the community day hours. If you incubate them right before it starts, you're not going to get that distance cut. So you don't have to worry about getting fresh eggs and having your eggs inventory completely cleared out and getting new ones for this. And if you're thinking to yourself, well shoot, I'm sitting on a bunch of 10Ks right now and they're not really close to being hatched and I don't really have much time to hatch them before this community day starts. Well, yeah, I mean, basically you just got to go walk really quick and make them hatch and then get a new batch. And also, apparently, you're going to be able to hatch Ralts out of these eggs. They didn't get specific, but for now, we can just say, who knows, if you pick up a egg during the Ralts Community Day, you're going to possibly be able to hatch it out of whatever specific type it's coming out of. They weren't really saying too much on that. They just said they're going to be hatching out of eggs. So, just a little tip. And which kind of lures do you want to drop? Well, you could try the regular lures, all right? If you have coordinated with your people in your area and discussed this situation that I'm about to say, then you can go for this too. If you want to drop glacial lures to possibly get those Sneasels to pop up, since they're $2 a pop and they only last 30 minutes, it will go for the whole duration of the community day. Since there's going to be Ralts popping up all over the place, random spawns outside of lures, you may want to do that. But like I said, if you've already coordinated with your community, and it's not like there's rules in place that say you're not allowed to use this lure during community day. I'm just giving you a heads up because a lot of people get very picky about that, so you may want to try that out. If you have a little special spot, maybe you can drop some of those magnetic, glacial, or mossy lures and you can have the whole 3-hour period instead of 30 minutes. But for the most part, you want to drop regular lures. And also, you don't want to do them right before community day. Once it starts at your specific time, let's go ahead and look here, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., your area. Once it hits 4 p.m., then you can go ahead and drop those lures and they will last for 3 hours. If you drop it at 3:59, it's going to only last for 30 minutes. You're going to have everything off sync. So just a few tips there, guys. I said a quick video. It is not quick anymore. I just had so much information. I just keep talking here. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Good luck out there on finding your shiny Ralts, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.